I am loving the rapport of these coaches so much, and positivity and comedy and drama. Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com, coming to you with your no frills, the voice commentary from a singer. Yes, sirree, we are back. It's night 2 of the Voice Blind auditions, and all the coaches are picking up some great people. I mean, even the people that are turning down are really good, right? Alicia Keys and Miley Cyrus joined Blake Shelton and Adam Levine in the red chairs and seem right at home. If you haven't seen last night's commentary, please check it out after watching this, of course, and share it. And we're off. First up, we had Soraya. She was 28. She did Drown in My Tears by Ray Charles. And she started out so strong and bright with so much gospel flavor. Alicia turned her ear up and Miley turned around right away, followed closely by Alicia Keys. Both Miley and Alicia were on their feet as this woman wailed and squalled and preached this song to the audience. Amazing performance. I think I wrote on Twitter, she took me from the juke joint all the way back to church. I was like, go ahead on and sing. So much soul and blues and gospel, just crazy vocals. Adam said he felt like he was in church, and she said, well, you didn't turn your chair, Adam. Sassy too. Miley said she brought hope and love into the room and filled the space with her voice. Alicia asked her where her voice came from and said she blew her to the end of the galaxy with her voice. And Soraya chose Miley Cyrus because she's out of the box. And I was surprised, but I guess that's a good choice. We'll see what happens during the season. Ethan Tucker was up next. He was 26. He did Roxanne by The Police, and he came out with his guitar and went full reggae on this song. Nice gravelly first note, and he had a very Marley sound, but with his own voice and pronunciation. I liked the way he was relating the story in the song and making it personal for the audience. All the coaches were looking back and forth, and Adam said he's really good, like he mouthed he's really good, and finally turned on the last note, and Blake followed. Alicia said he had a really unique, raspy, husky voice. Adam said he had chops and was impressed with his interpretation. Blake loved his rasp and said he would bring an element the show really needs. And Ethan chose Blake, and they started playing some Gwen Stefani music underneath. Did you notice that? Ethan said he chose Blake because he challenged him. Katie Colosimo was next. She was 22. She did Stone Cold by Demi Lovato. And it was a little strange when she started out that she went so low. Though it was pretty well supported, it was just, I don't know, there's something not very good about it. I was also very surprised when she went and reached for the high note, and she did great on that. I felt like she had a great voice but was very shaky with the nerves. None of the coaches turned for her. Adam said she has a good voice, but sometimes it was so emotional and it sounded like she was crying. Miley told her to work on her pitch, but not to lose the emotion. Alicia told her to keep growing, and it sounded beautiful. Blake told her to get the emotions under control. McDonald was next. She was 17. She did Feeling Good by Nina Simone, and she had such a high, almost mousy voice when she started talking, and then had such a low, rounded tone when she started singing. I was like, how can her voice be so different? Miley turned for her first, and then Alicia and Blake turned as she launched into the tempo. She went to the Harlem School of the Arts and had obviously had some really great training. Adam turned before she finished it out brilliantly. She just worked this song. She had so much emotion. She had so much feeling. She didn't sound like a little girl on it. All the coaches stood for her. One of the best renditions of this song that I have ever heard on any performance show. Miley said her voice was so strong and called her a total star. Alicia said she couldn't believe her voice and said she feels so much inside of her. Did Miley also say go ham? I was like, okay. Blake said he hit his button out of jealousy and said she's the kind of person that they learned from. And Adam called the performance remarkable and said he'll throw a party if she picks him. And Wade chose Alicia because everything about it felt honest and real when she was talking to her. And if everything I say sounds honest and real, please make sure to thumb up the commentary and let me know that you're enjoying it. It also lets other people know that we are over here discussing The Voice. The season has just started, so we need to get some people over here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for your thumbs. Andrew DeMuro was next. He was 25. He did Vienna by Billy Joel. And Adam started singing along right away, and this guy had a nice, perky, bright tone with a little roughage going on. Adam turned for him first, and I liked how he had a nice smooth endings on the ends of his phrases, and he did a little riffing here and there, you know, added a little bit of soul to it. Blake also turned for him. Adam said he had a lot of character and joy in his voice. Blake told him he wanted to be his coach to shine a spotlight on him. Alicia told him he has a beautiful voice, and Andrew chose Adam. Next we had Billy Gilman. He was 28. He did When We Were Young by Adele, and he was a young recording star and said he lost his voice when he went through puberty, but it was definitely back for this audition. Such a high tint to it, lots of control, a great song choice, and it fit his voice perfectly. perfectly. Adam turned first and then Miley turned when he hit the high note. I like how he seemed to feel the music through his whole body, and those high notes were money. Alicia and Blake turned on the last note, and Blake recognized Billy as soon as he said his name and said he was making his first album when One Voice, which is the guy's song, came out. Miley also said she knows his music and remembered his video, and he also opened for her father. Adam stood the whole time while everybody was talking and said he had an intangible quality that could win this show. Alicia said he accomplished the ability to be his best him, and it was very inspiring while telling him he had a gorgeous voice. And Billy chose Adam because what he said rang so true. Next was Nathalie Vincent. She was 18. She did Hold Back the River by James Bay. And she started out a little shaky in her lower range, but got very confident as she launched into a higher part of the song. Her big note was okay, but sounded a little creaky to me, like she hadn't had a chance to really warm up her vocals before singing. There was a lot of gravel in her voice, and she did a pretty good job, but no coach's turn for her. Adam and Miley ran up to give her a big double hug, and Adam invited her to come back and do it again. Alicia gave her a good motivational speech, and it was just so beautiful the way they booted her off the show, right? I mean, it's bad to say. I mean, they didn't give, she wasn't on the show, but they made her feel so loved and so special, and like she had really had a great accomplishment, which she did, but it was just really, really wonderful. It was a really feel-good moment. Let there be light! Next, we had Sophia Urista. She was 23. She did Come Together by the Beatles, and she was sexy as can be and started out with lots of attitude. And I heard a little country twang in her production. Loved the way she worked the stage and the audience, and she really embodied the stage diva. Miley turned for her first, and then Alicia turned. She was also giving me a little Eartha Kitt vibe, and I was loving all the great things she was doing with her vocals. Very original, but she reminded me in her stage presence and her overall presentation of Kimberly Nicole, and I was absolutely loving it. Blake called her voice intimidating. Alicia told her they need to be together and scare all the men by showing a woman's power cannot be contained. That's a mouthful. She also said she heard Janis Joplin and Tina Turner combined into one body. Miley said she sounded like a rock and roll Dolly Parton, and then showed a video of Dolly Parton advocating for her. And Sophia chose Miley, saying she's very adventurous and they have a lot in common. Brendan Fletcher was up next. He was 26. He did Jolene by LaMontagne, and he was a little nervous as he started out, but kept his voice nice and steady, just a little extra vibrato, but with a roughness that sounded really good. Adam turned, and then Alicia. The more comfortable he got, the more I enjoyed his gravel, and that mic was shaking, so much like crazy, but he got through it, and Miley also turned for him. And one good thing, you can have those nerves and stuff like that, and you can have that little, but while he was doing all this, his voice wasn't, so it's a little vibrato going on, but he still kept it under control. Very, very nice. Blake said he has a big, beautiful voice. Alicia called him authentic. Miley told him it'd be radical to help him win the show. Adam told him his voice could be the voice and told him everybody felt what was happening while he was singing. And Brendan chose Adam because he was the first one to turn and he has an understanding of different types of music. Next we had Dan Schaefer. He was 56. He did Marry Me by Train, and I was surprised that his voice was so clear at his age. Great pitch, and his falsetto was so sweet, if just a little light. The coaches didn't know what to think. I don't know. They were just looking back and forth with all that. I liked the emotion he was bringing to the lyric, and finally Blake turned for him. Blake and Miley stood for him, and Blake went up to shake his hand. Adam thought he was tender with some strong moments and said he's fantastic. Blake said his voice sounded like a 19, 20, or 21-year-old vocalist. And in the pimp spot tonight, we had Lauren Diaz. She was 24. She did If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys. Second, Alicia Keys in front. Alicia Keys, oh my God, girl. Woo! She won America's Most Talented Kids when she was 13, and as she started when she did her first little, she was a little bit shaky for me, but she quickly pulled it back in, and Alicia turned for her right away. She had some really nice full low notes and shined at the top of her range also. Miley turned for her during the chorus. The long held note was a good choice and well executed. Blake turned for her near the end, and she started crying as Alicia walked up to give her a hug and congratulate her. Miley called her voice undeniable and mentioned her courage singing Alicia's song. Adam made up a poem about her. Blake called her an incredible singer and said she looks like a superstar. Alicia said there's no denying her God-given talent and mentioned the way she interpreted the song. Then she started singing it back to her and putting in her name. But did you notice she had looked down and see her name before she put it in? I was like, okay, you better work, girl. Like, just do it right on it, right on top of it. That's a professional right there. And Lauren chose Alicia, of course, to be her coach. And then backstage, her boyfriend proposed to her. What a great night for her. And what a a great night of television. Oh my God. I am loving the rapport of these coaches. So much positivity and comedy and drama. Who was your favorite tonight? What were your favorite moments? Let me know down in the comments. I'll see you next week for more blind auditions. This is Robert Anton. I am out.